evening once again. Today in this session we'll be discussing about the multidimensional approach towards diasporic literature in the selected novels of Bharti Mukherjee. Okay, let's first see what is diasporic literature. What does diaspora means? Historically, diaspora refers to the settling down of colonies, especially of the Jews outside the Palestine after the Babylonian exile. But in today, or in a generic sense, we understand diaspora anyone who leaves or who have migrated their homeland and settled outside their native place. So they are considered to be under diaspora. So diaspora is something even we see in our contemporary time, though it started as an exile initially, but right now migration is something which is an inevitable truth, that like for 21st century, and migration is altogether a very complex process because it changes its dynamic because of the rapid globalizations. We are living in a global world. People disperse from their home the land to the foreign land in search of their jobs and better life opportunities and lifestyles. So diaspora is quite common now. So despite of getting uprooted from one's homeland, the diasporic communities or the people who have settled in the alien land or in a foreign land, they still maintain their ties or their bond with their land of origin. So diaspora literature, it encompasses that this entire gamut of literary works which are registered by the writers who are living outside their native country. So that comprises the diasporic literature. Okay, the diaspora literature is writers, specifically they are nostalgic about their home culture, their homeland, and they have very common themes like alienation, theme of displacement, nostalgia, loss of home, marginality, quest for identity, hybrid identity. These are the very recurring and common themes in all of their writings. And this particular presentation or in this paper we see that we have taken we have taken one diasporic writer, that is Bharti Mukherjee, and we'll be dealing her two novels, that is one Desirable Daughters and the second The Holder of the World. So in this we see that how protagonists quest or enthusiasm to uproot or understand or trace her and sorry ancestral roots, and a simultaneous silent emergence of a new cultural synthesis, because when a diasporic character or a protagonist who lives in a foreign land, they need to assemble or they need to amalgamate or synthesize with that alien or that foreign culture as well, though they try their level best to hold on to their cultural heritage or their culture of origin, but still in order to maintain a peaceful harmony they need to synthesize. So we see the rising of a hybrid identity in that context. So Bharti Mukherjee in her works asserts that how one from the root a person encounters a cultural dislocation where you get culturally dislocated, and it seems like one is losing out the meaning in life. They are finding it difficult to understand who they are, how they can retain their individuality or their culture. So picking up the first novel of Bharti Mukherjee, we have Desirable Daughters, which was published in 2002. It is a very thought-provoking novel which uh, narrates the story of three sisters, namely Padma, Parvati, and Tara. They all three of them were born and brought up in Calcutta, but due to circumstances, few of them have two of the sisters have migrated. They have settled in abroad. The two sisters, that is Padma and Tara, they migrated to America, whereas Parvati, who got married and settled in Bombay, in India itself. The story, however, revolves around the protagonist Tara Chatterjee, who is the narrator of the story and the main character. So Tara is married to Bishwa Chatterjee, which is an arranged marriage. It is a groom who has been selected by the parents, and he's a very successful businessman in America. The Tara's After getting married, Tara had this inner desire of becoming an American wife, but sh this dream of her of becoming an American wife remains unfulfilled. As a result, her quest of becoming this American, it stimulates a sense of marital discontentment and desire to divorce Bish. Since her desire of becoming that American wife or becoming half American was not fulfilled, she started losing interest in her marriage and thought that divorce would be a better option to deal with. Now, gradually, Tara questions her own identity. She extremely finds it difficult to explain her native land or herself or her culture to the Western world. Now, in the latter part of the novel, we see that Tara decides to trace her ancestral roots by visiting India in order to find out the meaning of her life or what culture she belongs to or what is her roots of origin. She decides to go back to India, try to find out her ancestral roots for the better understanding. Now, the second novel, that is The Holder of the World, which was published in 1993, it is a story of Hannah Easton, who is an American immigrant. It talks about, it deals with the 17th century India, and she has a history of her mother who fled with her Nipmuc Indian lover. Hannah is the protagonist of this novel, and she grows up into a beautiful young lady, and she escapes with Gabriel Leigh uh, first to England. She first flees to England and then she moves to India. She lands on the shore of the Coromandel coast as Gabriel Leigh, her lover, abandons her, and then further she fell in love with the Indian Raja, that is Jadhav Singh, and attains the title of Salem Bibi. From there onwards, Hannah's journey of tradition or of transition, it begins. That is the transition from a Western woman to a Indian woman. Now, lately, during the 17th century, we see there is a war that breaks down between the soldiers of the Emperor Aurangzeb and the Raja. And in this war or in this battle, Raja gets severely injured, and Hannah then explores the braver side of her by confronting and stabbing the Aurangzeb's commander in chief with the dagger that she kept it folded in her sari. She tries to pro- protect her husband like a true Indian woman. And in the meanwhile, Hannah approaches the emperor, or that is the Aurangzeb, to negotiate or bring down the battle, to call off the battle, but her attempt, she fails. And lastly, what happens that Hannah returns to Salem and gives birth to a daughter called Pearl Singh. She returns back to America. So as a discussion, we see that these two novels, we see that both the protagonists, they traces back to their native land. At the end of the novel, we see both the characters, they go back to their native land or the land of origin to find comfort, peace and harmony which they attained at their homeland. In the Bharti Mukherjee's Desirable Daughter, we see that Tara had a privilege of a very comfortable life, of being a successful businesswoman, a businessman's wife. But despite all the comfort, she decides to reject that comfort and step into the American culture to take the advantages and the opportunities of the host land, which is one of the key aspect or characteristic or an attribute of a diasporic personality or of people living in diaspora. The second novel, Holder of the World, in this we see the protagonist Hannah Easton. She undergoes through multiple transition as a part of her expatriate journey to this oriental world. Now, just like Tara and Hannah, they both embraces their journey to this new land, and both the characters takes joy and privilege in attaining by living or surviving in the alien land, the land that is unknown to them, difficult to understand. of which they denied. They took all the benefits or all the opportunities which they were not given in their earlier life or in their native land, but they explore all those parts, they enjoy it, they take it with a stride that they are living on the alien world, and they take up the challenges, the discomforts, without giving up. So, as conclusion, we can see that on analyzing both the characters, we clearly observe that the characteristic of a diasporic experience entitles or entails them to imbibe transformation, which Homike Bhabha in his text, The Location of Culture, he explains or defines it as hybridity. The overall attempt of an immigrant to replicate these two cultures, that he calls it as third space or in between. That is when they are trying to get the best of both the worlds. So this is a possibility of retrieving as much as possible as you can take from the new world in order to shape your identity. So Mukherjee, she mirrors how an individual, in her novel she has projected that how an individual responds to a cross-cultural conflict. There is a cultural conflict between the character, because their native culture and the alien culture, that comes in complexity. With complexity it brings conflicting ideas and the character becomes difficult to understand. So there are times when the identity crisis comes into the scene, and these all attributes or these characters of diasporic experience are unavoidable, they are part of it. So Bharati Mukherjee doesn't favor either of the two cultures, rather she persists on disseminating cultural assimilation. She emphasizes that the character should assimilate as much as possible in order to fill that gap of migration by adopting that third space. That is, one side is your home culture and the other side is the alien culture. You need to strike a balance between the two, and the only way of doing is by assimilating to the new culture and even carrying forward the legacy of your home culture. And to fill by filling that gap, you take a shape of a hybrid identity, and that is the only way of survival when you are living in diaspora. So with this we come to the end of a session. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.